Imagine a cool, damp night in Paris. The air is thick with the scent of rain, and the city seems to hold its breath. Shadows stretch across the cobblestones, and every footstep echoes with a sense of anticipation. The city lights shimmer on the Seine as a self-assured man walks home, his silhouette reflected in the water. He moves with purpose, yet there's a hint of unease in his stride, as if he senses something just out of sight. Suddenly, a mocking laugh echoes behind him, slicing through the quiet night and unsettling his perfect world. He pauses, glancing over his shoulder, the certainty in his step faltering for just a moment. This moment begins our story. A single crack in a polished facade, a fracture that will widen and reveal hidden truths. The man's reflection, once flawless, now seems fragile, threatened by forces he cannot control. Albert Camus' novel, The Fall, published in 1956, is a philosophical confession that explores guilt, judgment, and the masks we wear. It's a story that lingers in the shadows, challenging us to confront uncomfortable questions about ourselves and the world. The novel unfolds as a monologue by Jean-Baptiste Clémence, a former Parisian lawyer, now holding court in a dim Amsterdam bar. The setting is intimate, almost confessional, as if the walls themselves are listening. Clémence's voice is seductive, intelligent, and self-loathing. He draws you in with wit and charm, only to reveal the darkness beneath his words. The book is a deep dive into a man's soul, inviting us to see our reflection in his confessions. Through his story, we are forced to examine our own choices, our own hidden guilt. You, the reader, are the silent listener, drawn into this intimate encounter. Clémence speaks as if you are sitting across from him, unable to look away. Clémence anticipates your thoughts, making it a claustrophobic experience. The walls seem to close in as he exposes not just his own flaws, but yours as well. The novel is a confession with a cunning purpose, a trap for the reader. Each revelation is calculated, each admission a lure, drawing you deeper into his web. You are not just reading, you are being addressed directly. The boundary between narrator and reader dissolves, and you become part of the story. It's a performance of confession, and you, dear reader, have walked right into it, invited to listen, to judge, and perhaps to confess in turn. Before The Fall, Jean-Baptiste Clémence was a celebrated defense lawyer in Paris, admired for his eloquence and sharp intellect. He moved through the grand courtrooms with an air of confidence, his reputation growing with every case he won. Colleagues and clients alike saw him as a man destined for greatness, a figure who seemed untouchable in the world of law. He saw himself as a champion of the underdog, a modern-day saint who always stood up for those who couldn't defend themselves. To the public, he was the embodiment of justice and compassion, a man who gave hope to the hopeless. Yet beneath the surface, his life was a carefully crafted masterpiece of public perception, a performance not just for the world, but for himself. Every gesture, every word, was calculated to reinforce his own sense of virtue. Every act of kindness was, in truth, an act of self-love, a way to polish his image of benevolence. He thrived on admiration, using good deeds to feed his ego and maintain his flawless reputation. But behind closed doors, Clémence was a monumental hypocrite, blind to his own vanity and contradictions. He struggled with a growing sense of unease, unable to reconcile his public persona with his private doubts. On the Pont des Arts, he would gaze over the Seine, feeling like the king of the world, untouchable, admired, and above reproach. He truly believed he was free and innocent, living above the messy world of moral ambiguity, convinced that his actions were always just and pure. Camus builds this character to show us the dizzying height from which Clémence will eventually fall, making his story both tragic and deeply human. Understanding the depth of his ego and the complexity of his self-deception is crucial to grasping the true impact of his eventual fall from grace. The turning point occurs on a Parisian bridge, shrouded in darkness and rain. The city's lights shimmer on the wet pavement, but for Clémence, the world feels suddenly cold and empty. In this moment, the weight of his own conscience presses down on him, and the silence of the night is broken by a single, haunting event. Clémence hears a splash and a desperate cry for help, echoing off the stone arches. He freezes, paralyzed by indecision and fear. Instead of rushing to the rescue, he stands motionless, his heart pounding as the river swallows the sound. He does nothing, and the moment passes, leaving only guilt in its wake. This single act, or lack of action, contradicts everything Clemens believed about himself. He always saw himself as virtuous, a man above reproach. Now, he's forced to confront the truth. He is not the hero he imagined. The memory of that night clings to him, haunting his every thought. The sound of the body hitting the water shatters his self-esteem, echoing in his mind long after the ripples fade. He cannot escape the sense of failure, and the shame grows heavier with each passing day. His life begins to unravel. Laughter, real or imagined, follows him through the streets, mocking his hypocrisy. He feels exposed, as if the world can see through his carefully constructed facade. He sees judgment in every eye, and his confidence crumbles. The people around him become silent accusers, their glances heavy with unspoken condemnation. He is tormented by the idea that everyone knows his secret. Unable to live the lie any longer, Clemens abandons his career and flees Paris for Amsterdam, hoping to escape his past. But the guilt follows him, a shadow he cannot outrun. The city's canals, winding and mysterious, remind him of Dante's Inferno, a fitting landscape for his self-imposed exile and torment. Amsterdam becomes a mirror of his internal darkness. In this new city, he sheds his old identity. Discarding the trappings of his former life, he becomes a judge penitent, someone who confesses his own sins while compelling others to face theirs. This transformation is a twisted attempt to reclaim power and control. By exposing his own flaws, he manipulates others into revealing theirs, turning confession into a weapon. He judges not from a place of moral superiority, but from a shared sense of guilt. In this way, he binds others to him, making them complicit in his suffering. His new role is a perverse system designed to dominate and control those around him, all while masking his own insecurities. He forces others to confront their own hypocrisy, holding up a mirror to their souls and demanding they acknowledge their flaws. By confessing his crimes, he claims the right to judge, turning vulnerability into a tool for dominance. In the end, it's a brilliant, perverse system, a way for Clemens to reclaim a sense of superiority, even as he remains trapped by his own guilt. What is a judge penitent? A contradiction, like a carnivorous vegetarian. Clemens confesses his sins, painting himself as despicable. His confession is a performance, a trap for the listener. By accusing himself, he creates a mirror for humanity. He implies shared guilt, making the listener uncomfortable. He judges from shared guilt, reclaiming power. His confession forces others to confront their own flaws. He gains power by making judgment universal. His system is a twisted path back to power. It's a brilliant, perverse system to reclaim superiority. At the heart of his guilt, driving the narrative, Clemens's guilt is not just about the bridge incident, but his fraudulent life. The novel explores hypocrisy, a fundamental human condition. We all wear masks, hiding our selfish impulses. Clemens's story is a mirror reflecting societal duplicities. The novel grapples with freedom and judgment. Clemens's freedom was self-deception, replaced by self-judgment. His judge-penitent role is a twisted attempt to reclaim freedom. By making judgment universal, he neutralizes its power. It's a bleak solution, but it gives him purpose. Clemens reveals he possesses a stolen painting, The Just Judges. This irony highlights his hypocrisy as a self-appointed judge. The narrative's truth becomes blurred, questioning Clemens's reliability. Is the bridge incident real or a performance? The ambiguity forces the reader to engage with the ideas. The stolen painting symbolizes justice hidden in darkness. The unreliable narration prevents easy dismissal of Clemens. The ambiguity ensures the novel's questions linger. The reader is left trapped and implicated, like Clemens's companion. The novel's philosophical questions echo long after reading. As the curtain falls, what are we to make of Clemens? Is he a monster or a truthful representation of human nature? He is both and neither, a caricature of our worst impulses. His judge-penitent system is a dark mechanism for power, yet he is disturbingly human, reflecting our own flaws. The novel's conclusion is an invitation, not an answer. Clemens turns the judgment onto the reader. You are forced to reflect on your own morality. is an examination of the human conscience. It challenges you to be honest about what you see in the mirror.